Everybody, Kelly Acheson at AStampAbove.com coming to you live from a dreary, cold, and rainy Menasha, Wisconsin. So I thought, what better day than to share my next Technique Club card project with you. I have a fun technique. I'm going to apologize ahead of time for the political ads. I have absolutely no control over political ads or any ads in general. So whatever comes up on there, didn't pick them. Yeah, I see a bunch of you in here. We've got Maryland and Colorado, and I think I saw Kansas. Yes. Trish is just getting her meatloaf in the oven. I will be over shortly. Just kidding. California is in the house. What else did I see here? Did I say Maryland? We've got Maryland in the house. Okay. I am going to be sharing a fun and easy technique with you. Hi, Brenda from Utah. Indiana is in the house. Good to see you guys. This is just a pop-up video. I needed to get my Technique Club card designed for this month, and I want to get it done before I head to Iowa and then to Wyoming. So I thought, okay, I have it done. I'm also using this card for a swap that I'm in. And so I'm actually hitting three birds, Technique Club swap live video. Yeah, it's called Working Smarter, Not Harder, right? So I'm excited to share this technique with you. It is a Wink of Stella technique. So Wink of Stella can be used for a variety of different things. Of course, you can color on your stamped images, your cardstock, and get the beautiful sparkle, but we're going to do some splattering with it, which is really fun and easy. And I think it just adds a lot of charm, a little bit of bling to a very subtle card that we're going to make. So I see everybody coming in here. Bonnie says, I love me some wink. I know, right? Who doesn't love a good wink? Exactly. So, not used to seeing me without my crown. My crown is reserved for Sunday Night Lives. So, I do have my fancy glasses on. They're not fancy. They're my glasses so I can read these messages. My other glasses that I normally wear, I cannot read the screen from this distance. So as soon as I turn my camera around, I put my other glasses on so I can clearly see what I'm doing. And I'm not blind or anything. Like my vision isn't that bad, but it's just enough that I cannot read the little print on my phone from this crazy little distance. Isn't that nuts? So yeah, it's very bizarre. Anyways, enough about me and my little eyes. Let's get our camera flipped around, and I'm going to share this fun technique. I am also going to make an entire card for you and show you a bunch. I've got 9 total cards using this bundle that I'm going to share with you because I was involved in a swap. I've got more coming in, but I needed to get this Technique Club card designed because I am heading out, like I said, next weekend, and I am going to ship all this stuff out to Brooke so she can make the Technique Club cards for me. She is one of my assistants. I have many, you guys. There's a whole group of people that help make all of this happen. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just kick it off with the actual technique. So all you need to do this technique is a non-porous surface. Okay, so I'm just going to use an acrylic block. I've always got acrylic blocks right here in my office. You can also use, remember the little embellishment? Well, we still have some. The little embellishment, let me grab one quick. I'll grab one of these little embellishments. Here's a little embellishment container. These are our loose silver sequins, which are beautiful, but you can use the lid to these. I used to save these for these type of techniques also. But then I realized I can just wipe off an acrylic block and they're always right here in my drawer. So first thing, a few things about this particular technique. I am going to bring in just a sheet of printer weight paper to protect my surface, because splattering, of course, is splattering, right? It could splatter a few places. So one of the things about this splattering technique is you can do it on any color of cardstock. And so I just wanted to do a bunch of little samples here so you can see the difference in different shades of cardstock. We've got a very pale with the pool party and the crumb cake. We've got a bright real red. We've got Blackberry Bliss and Night of Navy. And this technique does tend to show up better on very bold, darker, richer colors. So just know that. This is actually going to be our layer for our card, and I have to stamp on this first. So we'll talk about that also. So I'm just going to move these out of the way. What I'm going to do here is I always shake up my Wink of Stella pen. Now, when you first get a Wink of Stella pen, there's a little black band that goes around this area right here. You are going to take the top off. You're going to remove that black band and then put your top back on. And that black band is just there for shipping purposes. You throw it away. You don't need it anymore. So now we're ready to go. I always shake my Wink of Stella up because, you know, it kind of separates as it lays there. And I'm going to squeeze that barrel. There's a little push and push mark on each side. And when you squeeze that barrel, let me get myself out of the way here so you can see. Of course, when you're just going to use it to brush with, you don't want to do this, right? Because this is kind of a big puddle. But that's exactly what I'm looking for in the splattering technique. So I have a little puddle, and usually it doesn't have bubbles in it, but that's okay. It doesn't matter. I'm going to just set that down, and then we're going to take our layer of cardstock. Now, if you're going to stamp on cardstock, you want to do that first before you do the splattering technique. So I'm going to grab some of this Wink of Stella. You can take your pick tool, or you could just use your finger. Either one works. And I am going to splatter this. So now we've got little sparkles. I hope you can see this. Little sparkles of splatter all over our layer. And you can see that while you can see the sparkles on this pool party, it's just a very subtle splattering of glitter. Same thing goes, same thing goes with crumb cake. It's going to be much more subtle. Ooh, that was a lot. And of course, you can splatter this just as much as you want. I'm going to do a bunch here so you can see the effect of that. Oh, I have to skip an ad. Hang on. Okay, so there's our splatter on there. And now as we start getting into some of these richer colors, you can see that it's showing up a little bit more. Now let's do Blackberry Bliss is one of my all-time favorite rich colors. And as you're getting down to the end, you can see my puddle is kind of gone here. My splatters are a little bit smaller. Look at how pretty that is. Now, if you're going to use this technique, you need to do it first because it needs to dry. It doesn't take long to dry. I'm going to squeeze some more of this out here because we're going to be doing a little bit more of it. And again, just squeezing until I get a little puddle. And here is our Night of Navy. And I hope in the light that you can see this, but look at how pretty. Isn't that pretty? Okay, so what the heck are we going to do with this, right? Well, let me set these aside to dry. And by the way, I do have a blog post going up with these projects on it where I will take pictures of everything so that you can see still photos and refer back to it. This is going to be my layer for my card. So the first thing I'm going to do with this is I'm going to grab my ink pads. I've got Early Espresso here. We are going to complete this card, and I am going to use the Sweetest Star bundle. I absolutely love this bundle. I have had so much fun with it. Underneath this video is a link that'll take you directly to my blog post, which, by the way, it's not done yet. When we get done with this video, I've got to take a few more photographs, edit them, get them loaded on there before I actually make that blog post live, but it will be there. But also under this video is, I think, I can't remember if I put a link into the cards that I already made with the video tutorial. I know that I did put a link in under this video for my reindeer stamp camp registration. All the details are in that link right under this video. And what else did I put under here? Let me take a little looky. And of course, I thought I had a screen open, but I didn't. I think I closed it all so it wouldn't cause me problems while I was on this live. Let's see, underneath this live. Also a place to join my newsletter. I've started my 12 weeks of holiday series, and if you are a member or a subscriber to my newsletter, you will get 12 different ideas, a card, and a 3D item. Instructions, dimensions, ingredients, and photos for 12 different cards and 12 different 3D items between now and I think sometime in November. My 12-week series will be over. Oh, this card is from my Technique Club. So I did put a link to the details for my Technique Club in there. And whether you are a happy shopper or a discount shopper, a member of Stampin' Up, you can join my Technique Club. I do not discriminate. All right, so I'm going to take out the wishing you a holly jolly Christmas. And I could see that this wouldn't fit on here, but this is the sentiment that I wanted to use on the front. So we're going to do some partial stamping, which is also a nice little technique. I'm going to put my stamp in here and only ink up holly jolly Christmas. So early espresso ink, and I'm just going to stamp that right down here at the bottom. It's crooked. I missed some stamping, so let's try that again. The joys of live stamping is how you see how to fix things, right? I set some pretty good examples for the fixing part. Oh, I did it again. Seriously. Let's try it. Third time's a charm. What do you want to bet? I'm not pushing my stamp all the way down. Okay, let's try that one more time. Boom. Yay. Okay, then you have to clean your stamp. Now, if your words that you choose to use are too close together, you can definitely use a piece of tape. Just put a piece of tape over what you don't want inked up. But don't forget to pull it off before you stamp it. You're going to put the tape on, ink it up, pull the tape off, and stamp. So now I'm going to do wishing you a. And then we'll have our whole little sentiment on the bottom here. Let's see if I can stamp this right. Voila! Yay. Okay. Next thing we're going to do, let me clean that off, is we are going to do some blending. And I've got a blending brush here. I'm going to bring in Pecan Pie because Pecan Pie is the absolute favorite gingerbread color, right? It's a new color and it's one of my favorites. I see I've got some questions here. Can anyone subscribe to your newsletter? Mary is asking. Absolutely. I would not offer it up if that was not a possibility. So yes. So I'm going to ink up my blending brush. You can swirl it in here. You can tap it. Either one works. I'm going to start on my scrap paper here and I'm just going to come around and do my edges. And now I'm wondering, you know what? I think, whoops, I forgot to do my edges. I think I actually used the early espresso for this. So let me clear this off a little bit. I'm going to come in here and get some of that off. Yeah, I want this darker color around my edges. So early espresso, not pecan pie. And again, I ink it up and then I brush it off on my scrap paper because I don't want it to be globby like this. Now, if you want a globby look, you don't have to do that, right? I know I'm probably jiggling my table, you guys, but it's necessary for all of this beauty. And I think what this does is it gives it kind of an old-fashioned look. And we're going to do this on our little cookies too. And at that point, it's going to give the edges a little darker cooked look, right? Okay, now this is the piece that I chose to use my splattering technique on. So let's grab that Wink of Stella again. I'm I'm just going to get some of that puddle on my brush. And I can see that glimmer. And you can put as much on here as you want. But you want to do this first so that it has time to dry. Look at how pretty that is. It just gives it that little bit of glimmer that I absolutely love. Now, my block, I'm going to grab a baby wipe. You can take it in the bathroom and rinse it off. It rinses off. It is unmarred. It's ready to go for the next whatever you want to do with it, right? I was going to say the next time you use it, but for anything you want to do with it, it is ready to roll. So we're going to set that aside, and then we're going to make the rest of our card. So here comes our layers. Whoops, let's get that out of here. Here comes our layers. We are starting with a crumb cake base, 5.5 by 8.5. I've already scored it at 4 1/4. So yes, Joe, it is so pretty, right? It's a very pretty little subtle technique. So here comes our card front. I've got a scrap of the pecan pie, and wouldn't you agree, like gingerbread type cookies, molasses cookies, this is the perfect little color. Then I've got a piece of basic white. All of these dimensions will be on my blog, www.AStampAbove.com, in about an hour or so. 3 1/8 by 4 3/8. By the way, I forgot to tell you this piece. This piece of crumb cake is 3 by 4 1/4. And then I'm bringing out this designer series paper. Now, where the heck is this coming from, right? I have not used this paper yet. But this comes from the Sentimental Christmas Designer Series paper. And this is a very old-fashioned designs. Let me show you this. We've got the pretty, the little reindeer with the birds in the snow and the trees. Then we've got these fun ribbons with the holly and some beautiful trees. Some gorgeous Christmas trees and presents, and a fun stripe. That's our shaded spruce. We've got the old-fashioned stockings with the greenery. Ooh, look at this one. This one's really pretty. Now, if you wanted to do a framed piece of art for Christmas in those 12 by 12 shadow boxes, and put some pictures in here or decorate this up somehow, this would be gorgeous. You can also use it for scrapbooking, but isn't that so pretty? Stockings. And then we've got some sprays with pretty ribbons on them and some old-fashioned watercolory type stripes. And then we've got this beautiful candles. And again, another fabulous piece for some framed art or some scrapbooking. So absolutely gorgeous. I love this paper. Let me get this back together here. And again, it is called Sentimental Christmas. So I was looking through my paper because I wanted to make a card using this splattering technique. And like I said, I had to come up with a swap that's going out in the mail today. So I thought, I missed this. I totally missed this. And of course, it's going to look great on my card. So first thing we're going to do here is stamp the inside of the card. Here comes I'm going to get a different one of these because that's pretty yucky. I don't like working on something like that. I change my paper when it gets icky like that because it just bothers me. And then I'm going to stamp my sentiment on the inside. And this says, may your days be merry and bright. And don't forget, you always want to stamp the inside of your card if you're going to stamp right on the card base before you glue anything together. That was Early Espresso. This is our pecan pie. This fun little snowflake stamp is in here, and I'm just going to stamp that right down in the corner. I think just adds some really cute interest. The other thing I want to do is grab an envelope. Hang on, I thought I had one out here, but once again, I proved myself wrong. And we're going to grab that pecan pie and stamp that on our envelope. So we have a matching little envelope here. Got that cleaned off. Now I need to get this a little bit cleaner because we're going to use this in some Versamark too. Make sure that's nice and clean, looks great. This is our chamois if you're new to me. It's a great way to clean your stamps. Okay, I think we have this under control. Now we can take this piece of designer paper. This is 2 inches by 5.5. I'm wrong. It's 2 1/8 by 5.5. So it's half of my card front. Grabbing my liquid glue. Yeah, Georgia says it'll be nice when the election is over. I completely agree with you. So we're just going to take this and put it all the way over to the left side of our card. And next up, we have this layer is a scrap of pecan pie. This is our Wink of Stella splatter technique layer with the edges blended for that kind of overcooked look. I guess that's a good way to put it. I'm going to go ahead and add this to our basic white layer that's 3 by 4 1/4. And this just gives us a little pop of that white on the edges that really makes our layer stand out. Okay, we can go ahead and add some dimensionals here. Lots of dimensionals. You get lots of dimensionals in a pack. I like to use my take your pick tool. If you push it in and slide it at an angle, whoops, and pull it up, it'll pop those backs right off. I'm going to set this right in the middle of my card front. Now, if you wanted to, you could set it at an angle. You know, it's your card. You can do whatever you want with it, but this is a really nice layout. Like, I really like this layout with that designer paper underneath. Okay, we are ready to do this. I am going to, let's see, we're going to use that early espresso again, so I'll leave that right over there. I'm going to bring in all of my embossing supplies. I've got my Versamark ink here and my embossing buddy that comes with the Additions toolkit for embossing. Get all kinds of nice little gadgets in there. Oops. You get some pliers. Let me wipe that off. I don't want to rub Versamark all over. Versamark is a watermark, kind of a pigment ink that stays wet a little longer than dye-based inks. So it's great for embossing. You always want to cover it up before you start playing with powder. How many of you have ever spilled powder on a Versamark ink pad? It is not good, people. It is like one of those stamping disasters that you're like, oh, I knew I should have closed that. You know, you knew you should have did something, but you're trying to cut some corners. You were preoccupied with how pretty your design was turning out, and you were very disappointed after you spilled powder all over in it. And then we're going to have a little magic of embossing. I always use my heat tool on high. There's very few reasons to use it on a lower speed as far as my embossing life goes. But thinner paper embosses quicker. Like if you're embossing on designer paper, it doesn't take as long for it to heat up and turn glossy. Same with vellum. Vellum embosses very quickly. And you can see how quick once it gets heated up, things go pretty fast. Now you want to make sure that you are definitely getting all of the embossing done. I see that bottom was still a little pale, kind of grainy, dull looking, and your embossing should be shiny. Because we're going to blend on here too, so we don't want to blend off any embossing powder that didn't set up. And of course you don't want to over emboss because you can burn your embossing powder right off. So I'm just going to take this This looks just a little dull right there by my little guy's head. There we go. I think we got it. I'm gonna tip it in the light here. Okay, everything looks beautiful. This is already cooled off. I'm going to grab that Sweetest Star Punch. And, oh, yeah, thank you. Thanks, Barbara. If everybody could click on that like button, give me a thumbs up. That really helps me out. If you want to share this video, I would appreciate it. There's a share right under the video. Just share it to whatever social media platform you happen to use that pops up when you click on share. That really helps me out. Helps me grow my business, which is always good. This punch is super easy to use. And now we're gonna take our little cookies and we're gonna overcook the edges a little bit. How many of you guys have ever done that with your Christmas cutouts? Have you ever overcooked them a little bit and they get brown around the edges? I have done that. Or if you roll them out and you roll them thinner than you have rolled the rest of your cookies, and you have a pan that's a little thinner, those will overcook because you kind of forget to put them on a little less time. Yeah, I love making cutout cookies, and it's not just about Christmas in our family. I make them for everything. I make them for Halloween, I make them for deer hunting, I make them for Easter and 4th of July and St. Patrick's Day and any old reason. We love cutout cookies, and my family, I make some pretty good ones, so my family really enjoys them. Okay, I did the same blending on the edges of this. And now what you want to do, because we've embossed it and we've put ink on our embossed areas, I've got a tissue here that I've been using, and you're just going to wipe that off. And you can see how this is still dull over here because I haven't wiped it yet, but you wipe that ink off. Embossing powder is a resist. It doesn't take ink, not regular ink. So I'm just going to go around and get that bright and shiny again. Look at how cute these cookies are. Aren't they so adorable? Now, I want to show you the contrast between cookies that are not have the edges blended. And you can see that these are just kind of real old-fashioned looking. These are bright, right? So that's my difference. We're going to put some dimensionals on the back of my cookies. So my first cookie, doesn't matter where I put the dimensionals. My second cookie, it's going to matter a little bit. So I've got these right here. Let me grab my, take your pick tool and pop these backings off. We're going to take this with our little sparkle splatter, and I'm going to put one cookie right there. Now I want to overlap this one a little bit, so I don't want a dimensional under his right arm. So I'm going to, no dimensional there. But I can put dimensionals any place else on here, and I will do that. So here we go. And now I'm just going to put this right in here. Good golly, how cute is that? We're not done, because I'm going to bring in my real red and white baker's twine. I got a brand new roll here. Did I have another roll? I don't know where that is. We're going to start this brand new roll, maybe. I thought I saw the end of it right there. Yep, there it is. Okay. Here, I'm looking for my bow jig, you guys. I'm going to make a double bow. Now, I just got an order, a shipment of these in. That's what I was going to look for. I was going to find, see if I have a link to just order these online through PayPal. But if you'd like one of these, they're $10. I don't make any money off of them. I'm going to wrap this around twice and bring my strings out to about here and tie my bow. This gives me double bows, triple bows, perfect bows every time. It's like bow heaven. But if you'd like one of these, just pop me an email, Kelly, Kelly, at AStampAbove.com. You have to email me. Please don't just leave a comment under this video because I need your email address to be able to invoice you through PayPal. And again, they're $10. Okay, so here's our perfect little bow. I think everybody should not struggle with bows. And if you have a bow jig, your struggle is over. And I will send you a video that shows you how to use it and make triple bows, single bows, use ribbon, use twine. It's a video I did back in, I think, 2017 that still applies. Little mini glue dot right there. We've got our cute little bow. And last but not least, let's pull out some of these peppermints. Now, these are on back order. They are supposed to be in this week. I am desperately watching the online store because I need them for the reindeer stamp camp. These are going to be included in the swag box, as well as the twine, which is back in stock, and I did get that ordered for the stamp camp. But if you're thinking about the reindeer stamp camp, it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be held in November, but it's all recorded, so it doesn't matter if you can attend live or not. Sign up early. I only have a certain amount of slots open. Okay, here's our cute little card with that splatter technique on the background. Everybody in my online technique club is going to get this card. Okay, not only the card, but the online technique club members also get an instruction sheet that has the date. They can go to my blog and find a video tutorial. And you can see that I stamped some of those snowflakes on here, and then I splattered the wink of Stella on there, and you've got the instructions on how to do it. So after a while, you collect these cards, and then you have a whole container of technique cards. You can punch a hole in them and put them on a big ring, but something to refer to when you're looking for ideas, when you start creating cards. To be in my online technique club, all you need to do is place a minimum $25 order each month for 6 consecutive months. If you'd like to rejoin after that time, you can, and most people do. But when you place your order, on the first week of the following month, I mail you this and this in a cute little envelope, so you have a collection of techniques with the card and the instruction sheet with the technique on it. So in case you want to use the card, you certainly can, because you'll still have that instruction sheet. All the information for my technique club is under this video, and this is the one that's going to go out for the month of October. So usually I don't get these videos done until the end of the month, and then it's too late. But you can join and get the next month's card. I'm doing this one early in case you'd like to join. You will be getting this card with the instruction sheet through the 25th of October. All Technique Club orders have to be placed in my online store between the 1st and the 25th of the month. You must use my current host code unless your order is over $150. And in that case, don't use the code. You're going to get some rewards from Stampin' Up. I always want you to have your own rewards. So that's how the club works. Now, I have my entire giant... Oh, I know. I wanted to share one more thing with you. This is the card without the blending on my little cookies. So can you see the difference that makes? It also does not have any splattering on it. The splattering was an afterthought. I designed the card and then I went, oh, I should splatter with Wink of Stella. So then that's how this card came into play. But see the difference? It just is so much more like old-fashioned looking. And then that sparkle on there, the sparkle, the magic of Christmas. I just love it. Okay. And here is what an entire pile of beautiful cards looks like. This is my swap that's going out. It's a very small swap. And then I'm going to get these all out to be put together. Now, I told you guys that I had 9 different cards to share with you. Some of these I have made. Some of them are swaps. So we have the Sweetest Star bundle with the Sweetest Star punch. And like I said, I really love this one. Look at this pretty little card. Isn't that so sweet? Oops, hang on. Here we go. That is made on Granny Apple Green. Beautiful. This one just came in. I love how she stamped the cookies, the Mrs. Claus cookie behind in the background. Isn't that cute? And again, the sponging on the edges. Baking Spirits Bright. Then we have this one again with Real Red and Granny Apple Green. Super, super cute. I thought this was adorable with the, now this isn't embossed. You can see the difference between white embossing powder. This was stamped with white craft ink. And we do have an ink pad that is white craft. When you get it, it has no ink in it. But you get the pad and a bottle of re-inker, and you ink it up yourself when it arrives. So this one was stamped with white ink instead of embossed with embossing powder. And if you don't have embossing supplies, this is really cute too. It's not as vibrant, but if somebody didn't see this card, who's gonna know, right? Beautiful, beautiful card. Here's another really cute one. That Santa with the blends is just adorable. Then we have 3 that I made for one of my free card classes. Look at how cute this is, right? Super, super cute. Here's our, we got a matching envelope with our little Mrs. Claus cookie. Isn't that sweet? And another Santa cookie here. And I put Wink of Stella on his beard. I just used strips of my designer paper. We always have tons of strips left. And stamped the sentiment right on a star. Whoops, I see I have a little bit of putty from my Take Your Pick tool on there. So, so pretty, right? So super, super cute. And again, with this technique, you can see that the darker colors really show it off. And this just adds a little bit of glimmer, sparkle, shine to the lighter colors. Love this technique. And all you need is a Wink of Stella, some type of a little cup or non-porous to puddle it on. And you can use your finger, but I do have to tell you, some hard tool works better to do this, okay? That works better than my finger worked when I made my first one. And yeah, so yay, that was quick and easy, wasn't it? I am hoping to do more of these pop-up live videos, probably when I get back from Wyoming. Got a lot going on this week as far as getting everything done so that I can leave for our road trip to Wyoming. Is going to be so fun. You guys make sure you follow me on Facebook. My Facebook business page is AStampAbove - your creative coach. So AStampAbove - your creative coach on Facebook. And I will be sharing pictures on there of our adventure from Iowa to Wyoming and back. We're going out there to see Barb. Barb is actually flying in to Moline on Saturday night so that she can go on the road trip with us back to her house. I know, it's so crazy, right? We have talked about that for years. Like, Barb, we wish you were with us for this road trip because it's so fun. And lo and behold, she found a really cheap flight. She's like, I'm in. So thank you so much for the safe travels, Marva. Did anybody have any questions that I happened to miss? Please make sure you give me a thumbs up, click on that like button, share this video. I really appreciate it. Peggy says she used to have a really good recipe for cutout cookies. Somewhere along the line, she lost it. Well, you know what? I'll see if I can find my recipe and share that, Peggy, because it is delightful. And, you know, cutout cookies to make from scratch, if you've never done it before, you need to be patient with yourself because the more you do it, the easier it gets. Now it's just like this for me, but sometimes you don't let your dough cool enough and then it gets too like floppy. Very important to refrigerate your dough, make sure the right consistency. My recipe has worked every single time. So I will, I'll see if I can share that. I might have shared it at some time on my blog before. Okay. I'm just looking for questions here, you guys. Did I miss anything? I answered Mary about subscribing to my newsletter. Again, the newsletter is right, the link to subscribe to that is right in the description of this video underneath it. Also, my reindeer stamp camp registration with all the details. Just click on it, it'll tell you all the details. There's different options to join. You get a discount if you're on my team. You get a discount if you're a Stamp Happy Academy member. These types of techniques are the things that we do on Stamp Happy Academy live classes. So really, really fun. And also, if you'd like to get more information or join my technique club, all you need to do is click on the link below this video and you will find all the details. Email me and tell me I would like to join your online technique club and I will get you all registered. So click right up here. This is going to take you right over to my blog where you're going to find this blog post. Also, you'll find my store there if you need to order anything. I do have a free card class going on right now. Let me see if I can find the cards. Last night I did the Sophisticated Sled bundle. And if you place a minimum $50 order with me, you do get a free card kit for these 3 cards, which is a fabulous deal. If your order is over $75, you get a pack of rhinestones, which is the embellishment that I used on these. Please know that your Technique Club order cannot be combined with any other offers. So if you put an order for Technique Club, to get this free card kit, it has to be $50 above your Technique Club order, but you can combine it all together, okay? So in that case, $25 for Technique Club, $50 for free card kit. That would be $75 order, just so we're clear on that. All right, I don't want to have anything misleading for you guys. Okay, I am going to let you go. I'll get this blog post up. Thank you guys so much for joining me. It is always so fun to stamp with you. If you have any questions, don't hesitate. You need catalogs, let me know. Pop me an email with your email address. I'm happy to send out catalogs. Again, on my blog, you will find the online catalogs on there. You're going to find a whole ingredient list. So have yourselves a great Monday. Bye-bye, everybody.